Alright, I wanted to start this video off by saying that I absolutely love Singapore! It was my first time going to the country and I absolutely fell in love with it. I love the copious amounts of greenery in the streets, the high buildings, the clean roads, the lights at night. I was only there for like 2 days, but Singapore, you have won my heart. I even told my mom that I would retire there one day. But let's move on to the main video. Okay. It was time for my family and I to return back to the Philippines for a month to see all of my other cousins and relatives. But we wanted to spend a little extra time in Singapore before we reached the Philippines. Okay, June 2025, 4:30 a.m. Tired yet excited to start the day. Good morning. It is currently 4:30 a.m. We need to leave by like 6 or 5, something like that. I need to get ready. I do have to say though that it was really hot last night, so I couldn't sleep, and it was also really cold because of the fan. So I was just like really uncomfortable. I didn't end up sleeping until like 1 a.m. So I'm basically running off 3 hours of sleep right now. But at last, I got ready, and by 5 a.m., a car came to pick us up, and we were on our way! We made it to the airport. We made it to the airport about 3 hours early, and unfortunately, the lack of sleep is catching up to me.
Huh?
The lack of sleep is catching up to me. Yeah, I'm a quiet talker. It was a new airline this time. Previously, we've only ever taken Singapore Airlines. But this year, I was taking Thai Airlines, so I was a bit nervous about the food because everyone says that airplane food isn't good, but Singapore Airlines food is always tasty, so Okay, I'm sorry. Moving on. Eventually, I get to my seat and I start to prepare for takeoff. I search through my media to select the object of my attention. Megan. The Lego Movie, Legally Blonde, Oh my god, Barbie movie. That's it. I'm watching Barbie movie. They gave us a strawberry cream cake, a potato salad, a pretty shell-shaped bread with butter and cream cheese, and for the main meal, a fried chicken red curry. The potato salad was good, it was alright, it was healthy, it was creamy, a good 6 out of 10. The bread had good flavor, but it was somewhat dry in my opinion. It deserves a good 5 out of 10. The curry was flavorful and well cooked. I really enjoyed it, so I give it a 7 out of 10. And last but not least, the cake. The cake was deliciously soft, flavorful, and best of all, not too sweet, so a good 8 out of 10. And altogether, this meal deserves a overall 8 out of 10. So about 5 hours later, we were sitting peacefully in the airplane. My brother decided to open up his airplane window and saw that we were going past a thunderstorm. Thankfully, we were like a large distance away from the thunderstorm, but it was so incredibly cool to see the thunder and the lightning from within the clouds like this. I do apologize for the flashing lights, but you know what's crazy? Just another 4 hours later, the sky ended up looking like this. Wow, so pretty. And with that, we landed in Singapore! Okay, day 1. We slept for a good 2 hours in our hotel room just to regain a little bit of energy, and then we eventually ventured off to some tourist attractions. The first one being the Merlion. Despite it being incredibly hot due to the blazing sun and overcrowding of the area, I had a really fun time. And for some reason, I thought that it actually would not be that crowded, which is a ridiculous thought, I know, because when this place was shown in Crazy Rich Asians, it was quiet and peaceful. Sometimes I look at myself and ask if my 2 brain cells are working, because why on earth would one of the most popular tourist attractions in Singapore be empty? Anyway, at 6 p.m., we hopped on a 45-minute boat ride, which toured around the main river in Singapore. I took this moment to really gaze and appreciate the tall buildings plastered around the city. To end the night, we entered the food court in the mall near our hotel and had some delicious Japanese food. For my main meal, I had chicken karaage, mochi for dessert, and this really, really pretty dinner. The dinner was pretty, and had this really, really pretty drink called Harry Blossom. Day 2. We start day 2 off at 7-Eleven at 7 a.m. I love 7-Eleven so much. I don't know what makes it better than the other convenience stores, but it just feels like it is. I got this nice little umbrella from there because it started raining as we were walking there. But then we had to head off to our main activity of the day, Gardens of the Bay. Gardens of the Bay is a very pretty garden, very naturistic place, and it was so pretty, so beautiful. My family took a red bus cart. I don't know, but it drove us to an area where we could walk to the Flower Fantasy area. During the time we were there, Flower Fantasy was doing a collaboration with Disney. So when we got there, not only was it absolutely beautiful, but there were some Disney characters made out of flowers. There was Winnie the Pooh, James Sullivan from Monsters Inc., the Grandpa from Up. We spent like a good 2 hours looking at everything. Hi, hello, a different day recording, so that's why I sound so different. But let's carry on with the video. After Gardens of the Bay, we went to this really fancy looking mall called, I can't remember, but if I find out, I'll put it here on the screen. And you know it's fancy when you see something as beautiful as this. We walked around the mall for a bit looking at all the different shops and eventually find Gordon Ramsay? What are you doing here? At the time, I don't think the restaurant was open, but if it was, you can bet I would have gone inside and eat whatever I could get my grubby little hands on. But yeah, I think that was all that we did for day 2. For the last few hours of our trip, we simply wandered around the mall near our hotel again, looking at all the random things I would want but didn't need. And at 10 p.m., we signed out of the hotel and made our way to Singapore airport, ready to head off to the next destination, the Philippines! Philippines video coming eventually. Hello, this is end of video voiceover moment. I really meant it when I said that I could retire here one day because it was just so nice. Everyone was so nice to us. They can speak English too, which is like a massive plus. And there's some Filipinos there as well, which is like really nice, especially since I'm Filipino. So there's some of my culture in Singapore. I would really like to live there one day. I think if things go well in life, I could go there. I could live there. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Please do consider liking and subscribing and turning on the notification bell. And I will see you in the next video.